Again, darker towards the house. And then it's going to be less lines and making them further apart as you go away from the house so that you have your lighter values. Okay, so we would call this like a 5 way back here where it's super dark. And then we would get into like a 4 in here, 3, 2, and 1. So you usually want to try to have like 5 values. And then you can turn your paper a little bit if that helps. And here you want to get bring a little bit of that dark out, and then get a little lighter as it comes out. Okay, remember to keep the front kind of light, so you don't want very many lines added to the front because that's supposed to be your lightest value. It's supposed to go down to a 2 or a 1 up there, so you don't want to add too much. You want to kind of keep it light. Okay, and if these look too similar, then you want to darken this one up more. So again, to darken something, you would just go in and add more lines until you get it dark enough to where it looks like the darkest value. So I see some more values that way if I darken that up. Okay, so the lower part of the house, the foundation is where the brick would start, and then we're also going to do brick up here, which is in this area. Okay, so I'm going to show you, and then you are going to want to do it. So I would wait and let me do a row or two, and then you can see how you need to do it. Okay, so we're going to make a horizontal line, and I'm going to skip where the stairs are. Okay, and then I'm just going to make another one. This is like similar to how we did the siding. Just make sure you're not drawing through your steps. Okay, because the bricks are not on the steps, they're next to the steps. So that's how we would start, okay, but don't do yours yet, just watch for a second. And then when we go to draw our bricks, we're going to make very small vertical lines to break it into small little rectangles, okay. So that's how we would start. So we did it just like our siding, and then we are breaking it into tiny rectangles, okay? Now the thing is, the next step is that you have to put a line in between each of those, okay? Again, vertically. Now you have to stagger them, because if you don't stagger them, what's going to happen is you're going to have 2 rows like this, and then if you don't stagger them, you're going to have them like this. It's just going to look really strange. It's not going to look like brick. It's just going to look like a bunch of rectangles lined up. Okay, so you actually have to stagger them and put the line in the middle below the brick that you just did. So each time you have to do that. You have to put the line in the middle of the other one that's above it. Okay, so it looks like that. So that's how you want to do your brick on your foundation. Okay, and then I have to do the other side as well. The other one, just like the siding, we're going to stop at the window and not go through the window. And we're going to make kind of skinny panels until we complete all of our lines for brick on here. Okay, so it looks something like this, just like we did on the bottom part. Okay, and then what we're going to do is break that space up into little bricks. Now normally if you're doing this in a larger area, like on your final copy where you have more space, I would expect you to use a ruler. But since this area is so tiny, there's not much room. So I think doing it freehand for this is okay. As long as you can draw some pretty straight lines, it looks okay. If you want to use a ruler, you are obviously welcome to. It's just hard to use one to draw those tiny little spots. But when you guys are on final copy, your house is going to be bigger. Okay? Okay, so down here, we're gonna do it similar to this ghost, where it's dark on the outside, light on the inside, same as we did on the pillars. So I'm going to try to Stipple towards the outside line. Okay, and then on the inside, I'm just going to put a few little dots. So kind of stippling on the outside of the brick or rectangle, and then just a few dots in the center because we don't want that to get too dark. And we actually have to do this to every brick. When you were doing the pillars, if you missed these, go ahead and stipple those in real quick. They're the same way as the brick, so dark on the outside and light to the middle. Because the light would, it wouldn't be receiving much light because it's on the front of the house. I know it's tiny, but it's just kind of like a little detail that we missed. So if you did not do that, you can add in your stippling on your pillar. I guess they'd call pillar like caps, basically, like the caps of your columns. Oh, jeez. Okay, real quick, because we have 5 more minutes technically. Just go ahead and add in your wood grain on here. So a couple like wavy kind of curly lines on here just to show some wood grain like an old door. We can throw that in really quick. I'm not sure why we're so behind, but that's okay. We will finish up tomorrow then. We still have to just, basically we have to do our roof, and then we have to throw our grass in, okay?